Now, we have to also purify the mind. How should we purify the mind? We have to control the ego. Very often, Swami Srikantanandaji's lectures, I would hear the word, he would use, rascal ego. Very important. All of us have this rascal ego. If we perform something, if we achieve a little, then we become very proud of ourselves. We think that, oh, I've done a great thing. But that is a barrier to spiritual progress. If you want spiritual quotient to become higher, better, then the best way to do it is to control the ego and become selfless. We are so attached to the self. But that psychologists say, somebody like Lacan, if you read, you will find they say that that is only the childhood stage where your entire world is only yourself. As we grow up, as we mature, the world encompasses everything and everyone around, the entire universe. And not only the physical universe, the material universe, but also the spiritual dimension. This realization comes, when we have this, we get purity of mind. So, controlling of the ego, controlling of things like lust and anger and all the other, negatives, making them into positive, realizing that we have these problems and being very honest with ourselves by saying, yes, I have this problem. Therefore, since I have the problem, I must know how to resolve it. Now, resolve, very often, resolution of doubts. People have many doubts about spirituality. And very often, spirituality is interlinked with religion. Today, religion sometimes has a very bad name because religion is being used as a weapon for something. But we must remember that religion itself is very good, it is very useful, and it is very necessary. But we sometimes make a negative use of religion. This is the fault is ours, not the fault of religion. There is no fault in religion. All religions are equally true, and this can be proved by the spiritual dimension of religion. All religions have the spiritual dimension. And that is where what Sri Ramakrishna says comes true that every religion is a path towards the final destination, towards the divine, or call it God or Almighty or whatever. So every religion is true. It is a different path. The difference is only in the path, the difference is not in the destination. So, when we talk about such things, what happens is there is a doubt which comes to the mind by saying, is it really true that there is a spiritual dimension? Is it possible? Or is the body everything? Is the material world everything? But a little bit of example, a little connectivity with others. You see how the digital world is connected by what we call as the World Wide Web, WWW. Now, can we connect all created beings together and see them through the World Wide Web of, you know, the universe? Not the World Wide Web of internet, but the universe. You will find a powerful connecting link. For instance, the energy level which is in me or which is in you sometimes will go out of the body when the body is no longer there. What happens to that? We know that energy is not created or destroyed. It becomes a part of the universal cosmic energy. The energy changes from one form to another form. So, what are we talking about? We are talking about that content, animate and inanimate world. Everything has energy. Look at the, river which is flowing, full of energy. Look at all the things around you, and you will find that they have hidden energy. You strike two stones together, you get fire. So there is energy everywhere. So spiritual dimension involves all these. Unless you understand, you will not go further. So these lead to the purification of the mind. These leads to resolution of doubts. When we have a doubt, we read, we talk to each other, we try to think for ourselves. Very important concept is creative thinking. Maybe next time we will do this. So creative thinking, we have to think a lot. We have to look at all the dimensions of this. Then you will find that the doubts get resolved. For instance, Swami Vivekananda, he came to Sri Ramakrishna with a whole lot of questions, so many doubts, and so much rigidity, no acceptance of anything which Sri Ramakrishna said. The Guru never tried to force him. We should not try to force ourselves. He said, time will resolve the issue. So the time will cure the doubts. It is good to get doubts. It is good to question, because questioning shows involvement. This is what we need to do. So having doubts is wonderful. Having negatives also is useful, because the negative gives us a chance to change to the positive. This is self-improvement. We are evolving, we are progressing, we are going ahead. So unless we have something to discard in order to progress, in order to go ahead, then it is no use going. It is like going in a boat downstream. Very easy, you're flowing with the water. But when you want to row the boat upstream, you have to work very hard. So you have to keep rowing. And then you realize that, oh, it's really worth going up because it's so challenging. It's such a great opportunity to show that we can do something. Spirituality is like that. It challenges you. And these challenges are in the form of your doubts and your negatives. Spirituality, one quality of cultivating spirituality is your ability to harmonize everything. Today we find that the world is fragmented. We have a caste, creed, religion, nation, color, gender. We have so many differences. Everybody is bothered about the differences, but nobody wants to resolve. Instead, we want to increase these differences. But that is not a very good idea. We try to assert our privileges by saying, I deserve this, I want this. But nobody wants to earn something. By hard work, we earn something. So unless we can harmonize all the negatives, unless we can harmonize all our emotions, all our thoughts, we are not proceeding towards spirituality. To increase your spiritual quotient, you need to learn the concept of harmonizing and do away with the concept of fragmenting, of dividing, things and people and ideas, and always, fighting for something. This does not show spirituality. The mantra of spirituality is the ability to let go. Let go is very important. I can give you a wonderful example of this in the life of Sri Ramakrishna and Holy Mother's Sharda Devi. This example comes to my mind now. You can think of hundreds of such examples from different contexts. Sri Ramakrishna was very ill. Holy Mother was praying for his welfare, but he had throat cancer, and this was, almost the last stages. She went to the temple and she said that I will fast till he becomes better. Suddenly, she saw, in her mind's eyes, she saw that there were a series of pots and all the pots were breaking one by one. Immediately, she got the idea. I told you, critical thinking. She intuited, she understood that, the physical body is only impermanent. It is not permanent. Sri Ramakrishna is not going to recover from this illness. She let go. That feeling that, I have to hold on to his physical body, she did not do after this. She felt sad when he was no more, no doubt about it. But she felt his presence all around her. And therefore, we understand the concept of letting go. Swamiji, at the end of his life, he says, that I don't do anything, I don't perform anything. It is all what the mother does. There was a time when young Narendranath refused to go to the Kali temple by saying, why do you worship that idol? And that same Narendranath, as Swami Vivekananda, at the end of his life, saying that everything is mother's will. So, letting go. You let go of your ego. You let go of all your negatives. You let go of your preconceived prejudices. That spirituality is terrible. That is a prejudice which we have.